Oh, we got some pretty pictures, Scott. Oh, pretty.
Cool.
A lot of good Milky Way shots.
Mm-hmm.
Some lunar. Got some good lunar shots.
Yeah. Next, you see the picture there. It says Global Star Party, the 38th one, and Dr. John William Draper. This should be your hero. This guy,
Dr. William, Mr. Draper.
him and his father started astrophotography, period.
In 1840, what did he image with?
Daguerreotype.
No. What's that?
Daguerreotype is one of the first photosensitive ways to capture an image. You know, they used wet collodion plates and stuff like that. So it used to be, way back in the day, you would get a glass plate, you put on this wet emulsion, and while it was still wet, after you took the image, you developed it. Crazy.
Is that the, next to his picture, is that his image or?
It's his image. So if you look at all the bubbles and stuff that's on around,
yeah,
towards the edges,
yeah,
that's, you know, him, I guess, messing up the plate a little bit. He got better and better as it went on. He made beautiful.
But still, back in 1840?
Yeah, this is one of the very first, in fact, it's amongst the first ever.
That's crazy.
Photos of the moon.
So he's the grandfather of astrophotography.
He is right in there. His dad was actually, so.
Crazy.
Yeah. That whole family, the Draper family,
Mhm.
all scientists, chemists, you know, he starts up the American Chemist Society or something like that, this guy. This is incredible.
What do you want to talk about today besides that? Yeah, it stinks. DSLR. Ah, that stinks. DSLR Astrophotography Contest. Sorry. Is there anything that you want to talk about specifically today, or not really?
Photography.
I don't know those things.
That's your hobby, right?
Oh yeah, is that what that is?
That's what you like to do.
Be nice if we had some clear skies around here, because I want to run your rig.
Yeah.
Just in the comfort of my own home.
Rig here pretty soon.
It's supposed to be clear Friday, and it's supposed to be clear Saturday. So I might be calling you probably Friday and Saturday, and running that through the ringer.
That's what it needs.
Oh, I'll do her.
So what do you think is the next logical step in the Saturn research?
I think it's following up on the discoveries made by Cassini, doing the science Cassini wasn't equipped to do. And a good example of that is Enceladus. We know Enceladus has a global liquid water ocean. Right. That ocean is salty. There's hydrothermal vents on the seafloor. And so going back and saying, okay, the conditions are right for life, but there's no instruments on board Cassini to make that assessment.
So tantalizing.
So go back, take the free sample as you're getting and fly through those jets and sample them and do the measurements to determine, what's the ocean characteristics like, could there possibly be life? And at some point, maybe go back and collect a sample and bring it back to the Earth, and then leverage all the things you can do. Bring it back to the Earth carefully, in case there are microbes there, and study it here on the ground.
Yeah, that's great. Do you still have the same level of curiosity about Saturn now as you did when you first started this? And did it become so commonplace to see all these discoveries coming through that you got a little,
Oh.
used to it or jaded or?
I don't think I ever got jaded. The discoveries were so incredible and so remarkable. If anything, I think I'm even more curious about so many questions that we now have from Cassini, about Enceladus, about Titan, about the rings, Saturn itself, its giant magnetosphere. So many questions. I really want to go back.
Tell me about the New Frontiers Initiative.
Well, NASA has an initiative called New Frontiers, and they have a set number of missions to which you could write proposals. And after Cassini's tremendous discoveries, Titan II has a liquid water ocean. It has these methane lakes and seas, and astrobiologists wonder, could you have a really unusual kind of life in the seas of Titan? So they added Enceladus and Titan to the list. And so there are now a series of objectives, of which now these two ocean worlds are a part. And so fairly soon, this December, NASA will take those 12 mission proposals, down select to 3 or 4, ask the teams to spend the next year writing a really comprehensive end-to-end proposal. And then I think sometime like maybe June 2019, make the final selection. Which mission do they pick? And will it be one to go back to Saturn? Because there's a Saturn probe mission in the mix too. So 5 of the 12, 2 Enceladus, 2 Titan, 1 probe into Saturn's atmosphere. So we got 5 chances out of 12 to go back.
That's pretty good odds, I would think. So.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Scott Roberts and Tyler Bowman here, and we are on the OpenGOTO Community Live. It's Thursday, and it's the day, the week is just blasted by here. The program that you just watched was with Dr. Linda Spilker, who was senior scientist, principal investigator type person over at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory for the Cassini mission. She and her husband were both on the Voyager mission as well. It was really interesting being there with her at Mission Control. This is a couple of years back that this was actually, that video was made just right after the Cassini mission had the grand finale. So it was really an honor to be there at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory Mission Control. And just to, that room is where they also were able to receive the signals from the Australian receiver for the Apollo 11 event. And so had it not been for JPL and not been for Australia's ability to capture that, we would not have seen the first live images going on with Neil Armstrong. So it was just a place that's rich in history. If you go in there, you can take tours. You'll see that there is a plate. Actually, it's a window in the floor, and then it goes down and it says, that something to the effect that this is the center of the universe. And it's just, in a way, it is kind of the center of the universe, because all of the planetary spacecraft that we have running right now, which there is over 20 of them in our solar system, including Voyagers, which are still being controlled, still reporting back, and all the rest of it. It's all being done here in the United States at control. So, very awesome. So anyways, this week is today the last day of the Astrophotography Contest?
Yes, today is it, folks. Today is it. If you have not had
all about it, Tyler.
If you have not had a chance to get in your astrophotography DSLR photo into the contest, today is the deadline. It would behoove you to get her in. I don't care what it looks like. I just want everybody to participate. That's the whole ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get set up for the next one. I think it's going to be a doozy. Really do.
Right. Martin saying there's conversation going on in the background. That's because we actually do this during work hours.
Mhm.
And our customer service reps are actually making phone calls and talking.
They
So
are.
that's part of it. It's kind of like when I was on QVC. QVC used to have, they don't do it now, but they used to do this. They had all their customer service reps right there. You would get up on stage, and there was no prep for this. You just went from what they called the green room, eating sugar cookies and drinking cappuccinos at midnight, and then being pushed out on the stage, and doing a live program with their show host and to sell whatever it is that you had. But they would have all the phone calls ringing, the phones ringing and the customer service people talking and all the rest of it. So I'm not trying to reenact that, but that's effectively
That's what it's doing. That's what we're doing.
We're not really in a studio. I'm in my office. Tyler's at his office, and that's the deal. It's a little quieter on this side is all.
You have a door. I don't have a door.
That's right. And yes, we do have studios, but those are always being used for product photography, product videos, all kinds of other things that we're doing. So anyhow, Mick says, can you put the link up for the competition, please? Yes, we will.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Here, I'll find it for him.
It helps if I get on the right video. There. I got it. If you don't have it yet.
I was almost there.
Beat you to
Well,
it.
that's the winners.
We'll do that one.
Do this one. Okay. All right.
I got it.
Okay. I guess you can put it up.
I can. I did. I got it up for you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. On any account, you were remarking that you're seeing some beautiful astrophotography come in, which is great.
I was. We have a total of 37 entries.
Oh, nice.
That's what we have so far.
Okay. And so our first contest, how many entries did you have?
Over 100.
Over 100. So we're only
over
107.
I know. I think everybody has
Okay.
told me their response. They want deep sky objects.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. So it's a little bit more narrowed down.
It is.
But okay. So in our next astrophotography contest, I think that we had promised that we would go to cell phone astrophotography, right?
I believe you are correct, sir.
Right. So
believe
any
so.
smartphone, any iPhone, any Android phone, on any equipment, any kinds of objects,
Correct.
So when will that start?
Well, we started April 1st.
April 1st. You're not joking, right? All right. April 1st.
Let's keep this open for a couple months.
Yeah.
I think we ought to keep this open for at least 2 months.
Done.
Okay.
Done. Okay. We will do that. So this will be the mobile astrophotography contest.
Yes, sir.
And Mike Wiesner, I expect to see lots of great entries from you. So let's see what happens. Great.
We got a lot of people in the chat today. Quite a bit in there today.
Yeah. Who do we have today? We've got
We got Petka.
Richard Grace, the Astro Beard, sign off first, then Mick Whitaker, Buck Davies, James the Astrophotographer, Martin Eastburn, Pekka Haltila, says hello everybody, big greetings from Stockholm. Very happy man here overseas. That's awesome.
Good.
Jim's Astrophotography. Hello, everybody. Cameron Gillis. Hello, everybody. After a successful evening on Tuesday, scanning DSOs in Canis Major, yesterday, thin clouds teased me with fake nebulosity on Ceros. That's
Egg
right.
nabbit.
Yeah. Who else is on?
Did you mention Eduardo Simone?
I haven't seen him yet. Mike Wiesner says, reminder, Dr. John Barentine of IDA and I will be discussing impacts of satellite mega constellations Friday, 7:15 to 8:15 Mountain Standard Time at the virtual Leprechaun Convention. Register for free by noon on Friday to watch at leprechaun.org. Right.
That's funny. The leprechaun.
On with us. Right. And Andrew Corkill's on. See you. Eduardo Simone is on. Good day from rainy South Jersey. And who else? You got a fan there. Eduardo says, my man Tyler took care of you. Thanks again, Tyler.
That's what we do at customer support.
That's right. That's right. Lots of background noise. Maybe you can stand up to Tyler and ask them to.
All right, I'll crack the whip.
Yeah, that's right. I just heard him get quiet. There we go. 2 stomps on the floor, Tyler, when you say behooves.
Okay.
Okay.
I told them, but I don't know if they'll listen to me. I'm not that big of a scary guy like you are.
You're kind of big. Not scary.
Oh, I can be.
Kelly, when you haven't had your coffee in the morning or something.
I don't do coffee.
Oh, that's the problem, right there. So if you started drinking coffee, you would like
I like my white tea.
All those rough edges would be knocked off, and or you might get rougher. I have no idea. But anyways, yeah, Jerry Hubble is not with us today, and you know the reason why?
Bum, bum, bum.
It's because of his rented cable modem. Those things, those rented models are probably I don't know, maybe a representative from Cox Cable wants to come on right now, but our theory is that they use the least expensive cable modem that they can find, and then that's what they rent you. Okay, so I'm thinking, Jerry was trying to talk himself into actually buying one. I said it's probably going to be cheaper than renting it, right? If you buy one,
maybe you need to buy him a good one.
What's that?
Maybe you need to buy him a good one.
If I have to, I will. I will. That's right. Anyways, that's true. But he probably uses it for other things like
he does
games and
solitaire. He's got to play a lot of solitaire and craps.
Solitary, looking at other astronomy websites or something. Who knows what? Downloading movies, right?
Oh yeah, I mean he is one for he's a movie guy.
Is he a movie guy?
I mean that's what I would say. He's always up every late hour.
All right.
Of course, he's either running your mount or I'm running your mount, one or the other.
True. And you were running my mount. You were running my telescope yesterday.
Yep.
Which is right over here in the corner. Okay.
Yep. Which
so
we got to set
up.
We got to set that out. We got to set that out on Friday.
Right. So the last thing I'm waiting for, because I lost it, is I'm waiting for an ST4 cable. An auto guiding cable. It's going to go down from here down to the TDM.
So I'm curious, hypothetical question.
Yeah.
What is the difference between a regular ST4 cable and one that you put in the back of a phone, like a landline phone? Is there a difference?
$6 is what's the difference is.
So my hypothetical question is, you just take my phone cord and use it.
I'll bet it's wired differently, because no one would ever sell one. Okay. No one would ever sell one if.
I think I have one at home. I think I do.
I got one on its way. I called. I found one from.
If it ain't gonna be here until 3 weeks from now, and I have one.
It's on its way. There's a guy. He's running right now.
I know a guy that has a guy.
That's right. That's right.
Shoot.
And shipping was actually more money than the cable.
So that's how they get you.
That's how they get me. That's true.
That's how they get you. It's like, ooh, Scott Roberts, get him.
Carlos Aragon is on. He says, guess what, Scott? Dave Grant, a man who works at Explore Scientific, had joined on monthly stargazing events.
Nice.
Lists as a volunteer. Got a foot in the door. Great.
Good deal. So, Scott, what do you want today's episode to be about besides just bantering back and forth? You want to talk about what we're doing here at Explore
It's
Scientific?
about what we're doing, you know. So we have, I know that the firmware release that Jerry had put out is up, and very soon, and maybe in another couple of weeks, it's going to be out for general release to the public. We have gotten some feedback. You tested it last night. What was your take on it? I know you're not completely done, but
I don't know if I want to divulge a whole lot of information, but let's just say that the user interface is a lot easier to deal with.
yeah, like way easier. Yeah,
Way
that's
easier.
right. That's true.
I don't want to give up too much information, but I looked at it last night with Jerry on the phone. I was like, Jerry, this looks a lot easier to deal with.
Right.
So, Eduardo Simone, it's beta. I'm downloading it right now. It's a closed group, Eduardo. It's a closed group that have it right now. No, we're getting the beta test done. From what I've seen so far, it's going to be something that's another game-changing piece of software that we're introducing within the PMC-Eight.
That's right.
And it's only going to get better, folks. It really will. Just be patient, give us time, develop it more and more. It can only get better with time.
Well, it's always, you know, we have adopted a, continual improvement of our products. So,
Correct.
you know, the products will always get better. It's based, especially when it comes down to something like software. Jerry put out a group or a section where, people could put in feature requests and
little applications.
Right. And so that's what guides the OpenGOTO community's direction on our firmware. It gives people ideas that are developing their own software to control the telescope. And, it's a good way to go overall. And I think that we have, all of these little improvements and tweaks, and some of them are fairly fundamental, where you can switch from using Wi-Fi to cable, or use both simultaneously if you want to. I think that's very cool. That's something that I know is going to even make it easier for myself, and I use it, so all the time.
Yeah, and remember, folks, if you're not part of the group's IO, we highly recommend that you become members of the group's IO. That way you can follow along with what's going on. If you have any problems with it, PMC-Eight mount, you can submit your request there. And my CSR reps and myself, we check it daily on that.
I'll put up the link for that.
I already did.
Oh, you did? Perfect. Thank you.
All right, I'm helping you out.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You've become actually very helpful, Tyler. Thank you.
You don't have to do nothing. You just sit there and look pretty. That's what you're here for.
Anyhow, what else is coming up? We've got the next Global Star Party coming up.
Yep,
and,
that's coming up.
I had mentioned here. I guess I can show it again. This image here. Let me let's see if I can zoom up on it some more. This is the guy off to the right is John William Draper. And this image off to the left, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse in the screen, maybe not, possibly you can, but right there, right next to his portrait, this center oval is actually the moon. Okay. All of this on the outside over here, these bubbles and stuff, these are artifacts from him developing his first images of the moon with a daguerreotype. Okay. And so there was a French guy, Daguerre, who had invented this photographic process. And John William Draper not only made some of the very first images of the moon, In fact, the first image of the moon was shot in 1840 by John William Draper. The date of our star party, the next global star party, happens on the date that he made this image, so which is March 23rd. So it's been, I don't know, 180 years or something like that, that astrophotography has been going on. And astrophotography pretty much coincides with regular photography. John William Draper also in this same time period made the first photograph of a living person, which meant that probably they made photographs of, I guess, dead people, you know, because it holds still.
So, I don't know. I wasn't alive back then.
They had death. I mean, it's weird what they used to do a long time ago. They used to make death masks and stuff. I'm not going to get into that, but John William Draper, if you look him up on a quick read on Wikipedia, you'll see a photograph. I think it's of his sister, and that was purported to be the first photograph of a living person where you could actually see their face. Okay. There is an earlier photograph of the city of Paris, I think, and it shows a single person that had stood still for, you know, an hour or however long that exposure was. Draper's photographs out in full sunlight was still like almost a minute long. So the exposures were. So that's, you know, people had to be very patient back in those days. What else do I want to cover?
Well, I'm looking at the picture of his sister, and that's creepy. I mean, back in the 1800s,
she had to hold still, you know. I mean, she could
yeah,
put on like this big smile or do like this selfie thing.
I mean, her hands are crossed. She's got a big foofy hat, and she looks pissed.
And she might have been.
She looks mad.
She might have been, yeah.
But no, you know, you can't. That's technology for you.
That's an astrophotographer for you right there. You know, he's always going to try to push the limits there somehow, and certainly Draper was one of them. An incredible guy. His whole family is incredible. His dad also makes some of the very first astrophotographs, and so that's and his brothers and children and all of those guys. You know, all of them scientists, all of them doing some amazing stuff. And so it was, you know, science was huge back at that time, and but it's even better now. And so, you know, I just wanted to recognize him and celebrate that moon image with the global star party that's coming up. So I give a friend of mine, John Briggs, and I don't know if you guys know who John Briggs is, but John is, he's a telescope instrumentation expert, okay? And he loves antique telescopes, and he loves antique spectrographs and antique, all this stuff, you know? And so he has been president of the Antique Telescope Society, for example. He's very enthusiastic, very engaging, extremely knowledgeable, and I think you're going to really enjoy him on the next Global Star Party. The star party that follows that is going to be co-hosted by Molly Wakeling, who's been on several of our shows, and that will be largely women in astronomy and young people in astronomy as well. So I'm looking forward to that as well. We have this summer, we will have the Astronomical League Convention, which will be a virtual convention. We've had people on from the league talking about it. I also want to give a mention that if you know of anybody that should be recognized by one of the Astronomical League's many awards, you should go to their website. Go ahead and download some of the forms to nominate some of these people for some of their awards and get it in. They have extended these times and to make that happen. So I would recommend that. There's a lot of deserving people. And I think that's all I have for today. Tyler,
Well,
do you have
boo.
anything else you'd like to add?
Boo. Being an astrophotographer in today's day and age, I don't know, you always hear the toss up between, is CCD still alive and well, or is CMOS going to overrule it and catch up with it? I'm a firm believer that CMOS is now either caught up with CCD or has over surpassed it. And I think CCD is dying very slowly. It's kind of like visual astronomy. If you don't have a dark site that's secure, like a landmark now, or a protected site. If you don't have a protected site for visual astronomy is going to die. Luckily, where I'm at, it's not that bad, and I can still see out of my Bortle 5 and 6 backyard for visual. Yeah. And the same with kind of CCD is, if we don't improve the CCD sensor, the CMOS is just going to take over it. It's going to overrun it. Like most ZWO cameras now, like the 2600, they're phenomenal. They're great cameras. That's why I have 2 of them. They're great cameras. They really are. And I have some QHY cameras too that can compete. But I don't know where I'm really going with this.
Yeah, over the years, I think that what you'll see, I remember when the Santa Barbara Instruments Group first sold the first amateur level cameras, and they were, of course, CCDs. But we're talking really teeny tiny chips. The ST4, for example, was really a pretty noisy camera. So I started learning a lot of things about, electronic noise, flat fielding, all of these things. It was an amazing time. There was even a CCD astrophotography magazine for a little while. I think it was put out by, if I'm not wrong, I think it was put out by Sky and Telescope for a period of time. Mm-hmm. The activity, though, in astronomical imaging moves at such a fast pace. It's incredible, really. And if you look back only less than 200 years and see from a daguerreotype or a wet plate to where we're at now in astrophotography, it's just mind-blowing,
It is.
And with really powerful professional level image processing tools that are available for very low cost and often for free. It's just, there's never been a better time, so. No. But we're going to talk about some of these things during Global Star Party. If you are interested in being on the next Global Star Party, let me know. You can send me an email to s@explorescientific.com. And, we can get you, if you have a presentation you'd like to make, be very happy to provide that on the show. And it is largely about the moon. But we'll be talking about other things as well. So I think that's all I have to present today. Sorry, Jerry wasn't here today to talk about
Jerry's a lot
the ins and outs of the new firmware, but we've covered it on several occasions, and we're looking forward to more of you giving it a try. I think you'll enjoy all the new benefits and features that's on that new firmware. So, and that's it for tonight. So a little short one, but thank you. Thanks for logging in, and we will we'll see you tomorrow with Kent Martz on First Light Chronicles. And until then, keep looking up. Take care.
Hi, I'm Mcgee Cox, a spacecraft operations engineer. I've been lucky enough to work for U.S. Space Command in the commercial space industry as well, and now I'm at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory working on the Mars 2020 Perseverance rover. Don't forget to visit NEAF, the virtual experience, April 10th, 2021. It's the world's largest space and astronomy expo. Go to neafexpo.com. I hope you have a great time.
I'm Kent Marks. Explore Scientific recently added weather and clocks to our lineup. These clocks set their time within NHTSA's radio station to keep them accurate to the second. Our clocks come with a variety of functions. This one is a simple alarm clock, but other clocks come with features including projecting the time on the wall or ceiling, outdoor-indoor temperature, a host of other functions, including weather forecasting. They come in a variety of sizes and colors, the colors being a black bezel or a white bezel. In the weather category, we currently offer a 5-in-1 and a 7-in-1 system that do time, temperature, wind speed, things like that, using the included outdoor sensor. This runs off of 3 AA batteries and lasts for a long time. The wireless connection allows you to send your weather data to Weather Cloud or Weather Underground. Additional sensors are available, including a thermal hydro sensor, a floating pool or spa sensor, and a soil sensor. For more information about these products or to purchase them, go to explorescientific.com. I'm Kent Marks with Explore Scientific.